Okay, happy Holy Saturday to everybody. Father Miller here. Welcome back to the Nerd Father, first stream for me of the year. As some of you know, I was on a medical sabbatical because about 4 months ago I had a pulmonary embolism, blood clots in the lungs, and with the isolation and basically, I'll be honest, what they call situational depression, because I was basically in the very western part of our state, and when all your friends are basically about 4 hours away, anyway, happy to be here at a new parish, just coming off sabbatical. I dropped 30 pounds over the last 3 months, and that was good. It's a start. So wanted to do a stream. Only could go for about 45 minutes today because being at Holy Saturday, we have confessions in an hour.
Yep.
So happy to have John Trent with Bounding Into Comics and the Mega Geek. Good to see you guys.
Hello, John. How are you?
Hey, how's it going? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I see you're sporting the old Thor beard there, Father.
Well, so yeah, for up until February, there was a ban on facial hair in our diocese, and they lifted that. So I was at the lunch table when I saw the email, and I kind of had to rejoice out loud because I had a goatee before I entered the seminary.
Oh, really?
20 years ago. So we were required to be clean shaved, and now that has been lifted. So I started growing this 2 days after the ban was lifted.
I've never been able to. I've never been able to grow a beard. I've always tried when I was a kid and stuff like that, but it really doesn't come out of me. I've grown as Indiana Jones stubble before, but that's about it, really. So,
well, how long have you tried?
Not long.
I mean, you gotta let it grow for more than a
I know, but it's just a pain, isn't it? Let's face it.
Not really. I mean, it's kind of fun. You don't have to shave.
Once you get past a certain point, the itch stops, and if you use the beard oil, like you can mitigate it. But yeah, mine does get itchy too, though. That's usually when I trim it down, when it starts getting pretty itchy. But I also I'm not super manicured. I don't really use the beard oil and stuff like that.
I'm still trying to figure out because over here, I hate the camera thing. It's a little patchy over there on the sides.
Yeah.
But Miss Martin's in the chat. You have the link, Miss Martin, if you want to join.
Also, I don't understand hair growing out the ears either. That's a bit confusing, especially when you get to my age. But hair grows out everywhere. It goes out your nose, grows out your ears. Suddenly, hair starts growing out there, and you have to start cutting it. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's totally, I don't understand. But anyway, whatever.
No, it is good to be back. It's good to see you guys. I missed doing this, but the rest was good. I needed it.
Yeah, glad you got it.
For those watching, my last assignment, I had 3 parishes. I'm now in residence at a new parish, and the diocesan assignments will be coming out in about a week from Tuesday, so I'll be able to reveal more then.
Got a new background, Father.
Got a new background, still getting that settled in. But I'm still trying to figure this out. I only moved in about a week ago. The big thing was got my bookcase moved in. The other one, not this one, but I have a bookcase and I have a bike. So,
what about all your comics? Where'd you put them? Did you find space?
Those are in a closet, which actually works better than the last place because there's shelves. So I can put the boxes on top of a shelf.
Excellent.
But I won't go into the I won't move the camera, but I'll just show you. I'm still putting the comics I acquired. I went a little nuts when I was on break. Well, a little bit more nuts, but I have a bunch of comics to go through. So,
yeah. I think I've stopped collecting comics now. I've got a lot of 70s comics and stuff like that, but today's comics are just awful. I can't be dealing with that stuff. Not at all. I think I want to try and get Berserker from
it's pretty good.
Yeah, I want to try and get that.
Most of the comics I've been getting are from Boom and
Image.
Because I really haven't had any Marvel or DC. I've been buying mostly 70s DC.
Yeah.
I think I just got my 7th box of Superman comics started.
Nice.
So what do you guys think of this new guy taking over Warner Bros. And them trying to get rid of Batman and Superman because of the Zack universe? What do you reckon of that? Or don't you know about it?
Yeah, so the report I read was that they want to revitalize Superman, but who knows what that means, right? Is that like the new homosexual Superman? They want to do a movie of him. I mean, are they going to try and like can Ta-Nehisi Coates' Superman movie that he's doing with J.J. Abrams? So I don't know. There wasn't a lot to that Variety report. Mikey Sutton did a scoop stream back in February where he gave some more information about that and kind of I thought he pretty much gave a lot of what Variety had said, but provided a little bit more details because Variety was claiming that like they want to streamline their movies and TV shows, but then they also want to do like one-offs with like Joker, and it's like, how does that work? Well, like Mikey Sutton is explaining, like, yeah, they pretty much want to like bring back like the whole like concept of the DCU stuff, but then also have these like options to do Elseworld stories like Joker, which that kind of makes more sense. And
gotta say, Justin is here. Justin, I sent you the link via Facebook. Love to get you on because I was going to bring you up. Justin mentioned the Superman going into public domain within a few years.
Wow! Yes, of course. What did you guys think of? I mean, I was listening to, I think it was Midnight Edge, and they were saying that they're thinking of replacing Ezra Miller with Gus from the Flash thing, and one of them said, oh no, he won't sell. That doesn't make any sense because he's got a huge fan base, and the TV show was quite successful, even though it went woke a bit.
First 2-3 seasons were
awesome. So why wouldn't he sell? It's absolutely ridiculous decision to make. I'm totally convinced. I'm totally convinced that there are idiots running our film industry now. They're idiots, aren't they? Let's face it.
I 100% believe that. I mean, when you're so brainwashed with diversity, inclusion, and equity officers, and those basically are like the new HR departments, and they seemingly dictate what you can and can't do in your films. I think someone was telling me that in the ambulance film, one of our new writers, Jacob Smith from Society Reviews, was telling us in the ambulance film that Michael Bay just came out, they have this like whole, like there's like this woke scene in the very beginning of the film, literally just put in there for like the diversity, inclusion, and equity like stuff, so he could actually make the film. And then like that scene is like has nothing to do with the rest of the film. It's just there in the beginning, and they just completely ignore it afterwards. And he was saying that they're just having to put that in. And it's just like when you have stuff like that, that's just having to be shoehorned in to get your movie made. The Bechdel
test.
Yeah, all that crap. It's not gonna it doesn't make for an interesting movie that speaks to us on a universal level.
It doesn't, does it? I mean, also, I don't know if you guys have seen the Batman. I mean, this is going back a bit, obviously, because of the Batman. You've not seen it? Well, there was this scene that came out of nowhere.
I mean,
I know you have. Sorry.
I was telling John I saw that's coming to HBO Max this week.
Yeah,
but I don't have HBO Max, so I don't know if I'll get it or not.
You might have to do that.
I just don't want to sit through 3 hours in the theater for it.
Oh no!
It's a slog.
I got a toddler. I don't have time for 3-hour movies.
It's a slog, but there's this one scene in it where Catwoman talking to Batman mentions white privilege, and that's when I lost it. I completely lost it. I was sitting there going, that has nothing to do with the story or the script or anything. Suddenly you just come out with that. Do you know what I mean? So, and then as I was watching the film, I realized there were little things in there, snuck in there, and I just...
So, I was talking to John before we went live. I'm going to try to go see Tuesday after the craziness of the next 24 hours. I'm going to go see Father Stu, the new movie with Mark Wahlberg about a priest.
Yes.
Who was a boxer. Basically, it's a true story. Yeah. And then I'm going to try to see Sonic 2.
Yes, I haven't seen it yet. I want to go and see. I like the first one.
I love the first
one's
one, and
really
I went
good.
to support the first one because they listened to the fans.
Yeah.
So,
Changed
and
up
the first
Origins
one was
one.
great. I love the first movie. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
really want to see the second one.
It's a lot of fun. Also, if you get a chance, I mean, it's a bit. Might not be for you, Father, but if you get a chance, watch Reacher. Reacher is not woke. There's one bit in it
Is that on
might have been woke.
Amazon?
Amazon, yeah, for
Okay.
free.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Episode 3, there's it's actually really funny because they kind of like poke fun at the detective. He calls him Black Sherlock.
Yeah.
Kind of making fun of him, but he goes to this guy's like rundown house, and he basically breaks in, and the nosy neighbor sees him, and then she calls the police. The police like beat him up and arrest him, and then they find out that he's a detective.
Yeah.
And there's like some dialogue there, which is kind of like cringe. It's like, dude, you were literally breaking into the guy's home. They had every right to arrest you. Like, don't like give them crap because you got caught doing something you shouldn't have been doing, and you try to kind of make it about the BLM cops are bad narrative.
It is it's creeping into our shows, and it's a bit, as I said, if it's done right, it's fine. But if it's not, if it's just shoved in there because of that, current politics.
So
What's
I
that?
just picked this up the other day.
I liked that film. It was all right.
I loved it. I saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm getting my new room set up. I bought the Spider-Man No Way Home.
That's really good.
Loved it.
And
I loved it. Figured might as well get this at the same time. But I did notice that Best Buy, they have the 4K edition of the Godfather trilogy.
Oh.
Yeah, that just came out. That's the new one.
Yeah.
Miss Martin.
Hello, Martin. I'm back.
Happy Holy Saturday.
Yes. I am an emotional mess, though, after yesterday. Good Friday always knocks me on my feet. I'm the whole afternoon.
I think my knees hurt from standing up and sitting down. Sitting down.
Yeah, at least you had a kneeler. I had concrete floor.
Oh yeah. You're on the altar, aren't you? So,
thankfully, I had the altar to help push me up.
Like 5 times, right?
Was that?
You only do it like 5 times, right?
10.
No, it's not only 5 times.
And I don't know.
Not in my church.
I was standing in confession line, so I wasn't really counting, and I was trying to
the bigger thing
my toddler.
was kidding with the other priests of this parish. It's like, Lord, give me the strength when I prostrate myself to be able to pick myself up. Because at the beginning of the liturgy, the priest processing in silence, and we basically lay flat on the floor.
Oh, okay.
So that part is a little hard to get up afterwards.
But at the ending, they always say, leave the church silently because people want to pray. They never do. They always come out and all that pile out while they're talking, while people are trying to pray. It's always the same thing every year.
Oh,
but, I enjoy it, though. Yeah, well, it's
yeah, it doesn't happen in my church. My parish, people I think would murder you if you talked. I mean, you get the evil eye. People start to whisper, and everyone's like Gollum, like shut up. Well, Father, you don't go to heaven on a featherbed, right? That's what St. Thomas More said. No. So,
Oh, I don't know about that, but I don't know what he said. But yeah,
well, he said you don't go to. He would tell his children when they would whine, you don't go to heaven on a featherbed. In other words,
I'll tell you what drove me nuts was I was home back in Iowa where I grew up and my parents still live. They had Fox News on, and Joel Osteen was talking about Easter. It's like. Now, Ian, I don't know if you know who Joel.
I don't know who he is, but he sounds bad.
Well, it's more that he's the gospel of sunshine and lollipops. Never about carrying your cross. Never about enduring sufferings.
Yeah,
it's just
well. This next generation coming up, they don't believe in suffering, do they? They don't. They believe they should get it just slammed in their lap. Everything they want should be just given to them. Do you know what I mean? And realize by growing, you have to suffer. You have to suffer, and therefore you grow. Therefore you learn. That's the journey you take. That's the whole point, isn't it? But they don't see that, unfortunately.
No pain, no gain.
Well, I think one of Osteen's suits probably costs more than all the clothes I have.
Yeah. Well, he's a follower of the health and wealth gospel, which is something that starts with an H and has an E and an R and an E and an S and a Y in it. It really is. I hate this.
Yeah.
There's just no way else
Well,
to
it's
put
all
it.
about sunshine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all Jesus loves you, and yes, but
he loves
he
you,
also
and
says, "Take up your cross and follow me."
That's right.
And if they
And
persecuted me, they will persecute you.
Yeah. Hello.
That part's never mentioned.
yeah, and Jesus never says, "And you'll be rich, and you'll be all that." It's like, no, actually, Jesus says, "Quite the cross." Yeah, you'll be rich in heaven, but it's like, quite the contrary. You know.
Yes,
you're not going to get riches
Sunday.
in this world.
Next Sunday, Divine Mercy Sunday.
Yay!
Yes, it's very worrying, really, how the youth is disappearing, especially from our church. There's a lot of people of age there, and some kids. But I remember a time when there used to be a lot of young people. Yeah. It's a bit worrying, but there you go.
My parish is full of parents my age and people with kids, and a lot of teenagers. So I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes I think it depends on where you are too.
Yeah.
I mean, Father, you would love this and probably be jealous. Last week at my parish, we had confessions every day for 5 hours a day.
Yep. I've been in that situation.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Right, we had confessions, but I didn't go. I had to go to another church because the confessional box is glass. I hate that. I hate it.
But the thing is,
no, not for me.
If the confessional is divided, there's no reason to have glass. I mean, if there's no contact between priest and penitent, then there's no need to have it clear.
But what I'm saying is that it's a modern day confessional box. So basically, people can see in. They can see in, they could see you, and you could see the priest and stuff like. And I'm like, no. So I went to Westminster in Victoria.
Don't blame you.
Yeah, I hate that.
The Father's right. The reason why they do that, unfortunately, is because so many priests were getting accused of doing naughty things in the confessional, and even in many cases, priests wanted that. Or they could do it the way they do it in Rome. You know what I mean? Those old-fashioned confessionals they used to have. Those actually would protect the privacy and the safety of the priest and the penitent.
I'll be honest. I hate face-to-face confessions.
Yes, I do too.
So do I.
I mean, I have my eyes closed when I'm listening.
Oh, that's cool, Father. I close my eyes when I'm confessing. Well, they're supposed to give us the option, and some places don't give us the option.
I think it's the option. It's the preference of the priest.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think the priest has the preference, and especially, again, the priest has the right to refuse to have face-to-face.
Yeah.
So you're saying you don't like those old school, like John the Baptist confessions, where he's baptizing people in the Jordan and they're telling their sins?
I don't think the people were telling them their sins, but it's up until the Irish in the 4th century that confession was in the public.
Yep.
Yeah.
They had no choice as well, did they? They had no choice. So.
But Father, you said that the priest can choose about face-to-face, but is he allowed to choose to make us go face-to-face? Because that's what I've been. That's what I
don't think you can. I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying is that usually most parishes, traditionally in the post-Vatican II world, they've had where you can go face-to-face. So you just kind of go to the left and sit in a chair, or you go to the right where there's the big old curtain and stuff. But lately, I've been finding that the curtain and the kneeler is not there. And they're saying it's because of COVID.
Well, in Westminster, they have the old-fashioned confession box where it's wooden and they have the little grate that you just see the priest's eyes like that. Wood is it?
That's
actually, our grate is covered with a cloth.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
because he draws the little door in Westminster. So he draws a little door, and then there's the grate, and then you hear him, and you could just about see him and stuff like that. I prefer that way because it's let's face it, when you've got a lot of sin to confess, it's shame, isn't it? You don't really want to. You know what I mean?
The beauty of it, as I tell people, is in a bigger parish, the priest doesn't really know who you are, and it's easier to confess to somebody that doesn't know you, and they don't know you either. So I mean, really, that's the nice thing.
My priests know me. We're a big parish. My priests know me.
If you're active, then yes, they do get to know you.
Yeah. Though I'll tell you what, Father, even when I've totally known the person, there's such a grace in confession that it's like they
Mhm.
really do become an in persona Christi. I had a friend who got ordained, and I didn't know that I was in the line for his thing. And then next, he shows up, and I'm like, and then I was like, okay, gonna confess, he's father now. And I swear, the grace of the ordination, I wasn't talking to the man I knew as a friend. I was
See,
talking
the
to
only
the priest.
thing I told my family is I will not hear their confessions.
No,
I
that
will
makes
not hear family confessions.
Right. So quite right too.
yeah, yeah. I thought that was a rule, Father. I don't know. Is it?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I was at my cousin's first communion, my cousin's kid's first communion. His wife, which is by marriage, I'd be related to, wanted to go to confession, but I mean, no, I had to say no. It's just not because I didn't want to. It's just it's family. It's a little bit more
awkward,
harder to forget when it's family.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah,
that makes
especially
sense.
if it's like a by appointment. If they were just in line and you didn't know, maybe.
Well, but this was where there was it was basically nobody in the confessional.
Right.
Yeah. So you would know.
So,
yeah. Well, I had a priest in college that told us, don't worry about coming to confession. Your lives are not that exciting. He's like, there's nothing I haven't heard 100,000 times.
Oh, okay.
That's what he meant by your lives are not that exciting. He was telling us to get over ourselves. Because someone had asked, but you're going to hear this. And he was like, your lives are not that exciting.
I thought you were saying he was advising you, like, you don't need to go to confession.
Oh, no. He was advising us to go ahead and come and get over.
Yeah,
you understand now. Okay.
There really isn't much that can be confessed that we haven't heard before.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you,
for the most part,
done something really bad. Yeah.
There are a few of those where it's like, oh dear. Of course, I'm not saying that out loud.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's like, I mean, I don't know if you've done this, but I'm sure like there's priests that go to prisons and stuff, and people convert. They probably have done some really bad stuff, and they have lots of.
Yeah, but at that time there's contrition. I mean, if they're going in prison, they're sorry for it. So I mean, it's not one of those that.
Well, yeah, but that's. I'm just saying that's like something you would have. That's like something you might not hear every day, right?
Right.
You would hear,
but something like that's not going to shock you then, because
right. Because you know what you're getting into, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my personal favorite, it was an elder priest, and I was confessing. This is at Steubenville, actually, at a conference, and I was confessing a Mean Girls thing I did, and he just went, "You shouldn't have done that," and I went. He was older, understanding. He blurted it out, and I'm like, "Oh, that must have been a new one, Mean Girls." And I went, "Well, yes, Father, I know. That's why I'm sorry I did."
but usually there's a big queue, isn't there, around about this time for confessionals?
Yeah.
But this time round, this year, there wasn't really that much of a queue. And I went to Westminster, which is like a huge church in Victorian London, and it's, I think, the Pope, when Pope John came over, he was there. It's quite a huge church, and it's quite a beautiful church, but usually it's packed with people. And I went, there was hardly anybody there, so I don't really, maybe it's to do with the COVID thing, I don't know, but I was really surprised.
I don't know.
Really surprised. Yeah.
Well, one thing that COVID unfortunately did, and we also warned about it, is it got people out of the habit of their religious practice. It even took me a while to get back into that.
Yeah. I see Justin's got a target on his head. So,
so we were talking in
you're mute, mate.
Trademark thing.
Yeah.
How's that?
Oh, there you go.
Or the copyright with Superman going into public domain. And
yeah.
So that was a rumor, and then I did a little research on it. I threw it in the comments. Apparently, according to the legal, and I'm sure they'll find a way to change this because the powers that be have lots of money.
Mickey Mouse.
But it's 70 years after the death of the creator that the intellectual property would become public domain. Now, that might be wrong. I might have found the wrong information, but I was just having this existential conversation with friends. I said, you know what? I know I'm not going to be around when it's really going to hit, but can you imagine 70 years from now, 50 years from now, Superman, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America, all of these characters that were created are now anybody who wants can write their own story. They'll be good and they'll also be bad. But someone who really knows.
There's also a caveat.
Doing.
There's a caveat to that too, because I actually talked to Chuck Dixon about this, and I asked him, I was like, if Batman comes into the public domain, would you be interested in writing a Batman story? And he was like, absolutely not, because he wouldn't be able to do Bane. He wouldn't do all the other characters that have come afterwards. That's part of that character's story now. He wouldn't be able to like write with those characters because those characters are still copyrighted, trademarked. So there is
like I said, none of us will be around to enjoy it. But
that didn't stop them from making the Spider-Man TV show, because they only had copyright for Nicholas Hamill version. They only had copyright of Peter Parker and Spider-Man, I think, and Jonathan J. Jason. Rest they didn't have copyright over. Didn't stop them, did it? Do you know
I was going to say, I mean, at least, I enjoyed the new Sherlock Holmes series.
Oh, that was great.
The last 4 seasons of it. I really enjoyed those. I mean,
I do like Elementary.
There's other things that are going to come into public domain. We'll get to.
Yeah. I liked Elementary. A lot of people don't talk about Elementary, but I think Elementary was really. I thought it was really interesting and really entertaining.
Once or twice.
All right. Okay.
I think the Sherlock stuff has the same issue.
Reacher. Sorry, John. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I think the Sherlock stuff still has the same issues. Like the earlier books are public domain still, but the later ones with like additional characters and stuff, I don't think are in there yet.
Yeah. Well,
but there are like Plastic Man and stuff like that. They're like the early Plastic Man stuff. That stuff is in the public domain already.
Thing is, though, they're going to figure out something like Disney did with Mickey Mouse, didn't they? So they'll figure out something to keep Superman together with Warner Brothers and stuff like that. Same thing with Batman as well. So,
that was the theory behind the creation of all these different personas that were taking up the mantle. For example, Laura Kinney, who became Wolverine, she was created in the 80s by someone else. So that allows them to hang on to the mantle of Wolverine. Until, and that's why they keep doing. Granted, there's other reasons for them to create all these characters. Like I was just looking through the latest DC Connect for this month, and they're killing off the Justice League again, and they'll bring them back again like they always do. But of course, they've shown like the half of the DC Connect catalog for this month of April is all Pride Month, because that's what's coming up in, I guess.
Yes, I saw that Marvel is doing that too, because the homeless Cap is back.
Oh yeah, they'll bring all those.
He now
people
has
back.
muscles.
That's the thing, you see. I'm tired of Marvel stuff, especially the TV stuff and the movie stuff, because it doesn't hold anything for me. All the best characters have been done, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe for the first 10 years is absolutely brilliant. All right, they had some dud movies, but still, the climax of it was just made it all worth your 10 years of focusing on their films. But with this stuff that they're bringing out now, it's all politics and stuff like that, and there's no fun in it at all. I was watching Moon Knight a couple of nights ago, and it's awful. Everybody's going, it's really good. I'm like, no, I fell asleep halfway through it.
It's entertaining.
I don't know,
but it's not impactful. It doesn't mean anything. You watch shows like, well, that was an episode, and I have nothing to say about it. Whether I watch Daredevil, and I'm like, I gotta watch the next 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, that's funny. We watched the Spider-Man movie. We bought it yesterday. Brought home, watched it, and I forgot about Matt Murdock showing up.
Yes,
and I immediately got excited. I was like, I'm gonna watch some Daredevil when this is over.
I was the only one. Me and my friend was the only one screaming in the cinema when Matt Murdock. Nobody knew who he was.
Nobody
watched.
Yes,
really?
It's Matt Murdock.
We were like, yes.
That's the real Matt Murdock.
Yeah, but anyway, whatever. The
Moon Knight shows the same way. There's nothing about the current Marvel world. There's nothing that's making you excited. And I've always been a big believer, and it's been proven that everything in the world happens in waves. There's ups, there's downs, and we go back up and we go back down. And I just think that we're sitting at a low point. And eventually, what's going to happen is all these people that have infiltrated and trying to take over everything that we've loved dearly for years. Eventually, they're going to get to such a low point where they're not selling anything. Nobody wants to read. I mean, Marvel was bankrupt in the late 90s going into 2000s when they had to start selling off all their properties to movie studios to pay for themselves. Eventually, even with the corporate backing, they're going to go, you know what? We have no interest in employing you, the artists, the writers. We could take this money and go make ice cream cones and probably have a better day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then maybe we'll get lucky and it will fall to people who want to write good stories because they're passionate. Nowadays, it's about money. And all the greatest artists have gone on to do their exclusive covers online websites. They don't do books anymore. You see all the talents being pulled from places like Spain, overseas, other countries. Americans don't want, Brazil. Americans don't want to work for what they're paying there. So these other countries that can afford to live on less pay in American dollars, they're taking those jobs and they're doing well. There's some artists out there that are fantastic. I can't understand.
I think old-fashioned values is still in the hearts of everyone in the entire world. Absolutely. And that's the reason why, when I remember when I was doing Captain America, I thought he's going to suck because I saw that Elton John version of Captain America and it was absolute rubbish. And then when Marvel did it, I thought they did it so well. I believed in that character and his patriotic, drive and stuff like that. Today's Marvel has nothing of that. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing you can hold on to.
In fact, they just relaunched that title, and it was really funny. I scoffed at this. I was pulling them out of the boxes yesterday. Captain America number 0. They're going to have 2 books. They're going to have Symbol of Truth, which features his friend Falcon. I can't remember his name. And then there's going to be Sentinel of Liberty, which will be Steve Rogers. But they did a wrap cover. They did a wrap cover for the book, so it's front and back, one big picture. And Falcon's on the front, Rogers is on the back.
Oh, you are joking.
When you don't sell books, this is why. People want Steve Rogers. I don't care that every hero in the 70s was blonde-haired, blue-eyed, masculine. That's what people see in those characters. You change the character, you change the fan base, and those people don't have any money to spend on your comics. They don't want them anyway. They just want to talk about them.
We see, and I think maybe I'm just too cynical now. I've been too black pilled, but
we're all cynical.
I think that when everything gets run into the ground, that's going to be it. There's not a place anymore for people that want to write good stories because they're gone.
Oh God,
not at Marvel and DC. Yeah,
what's that?
That's the gay Captain Marvel.
That's sexy.
Or America.
Nothing says, you know what that looks like? Chris knows, or Father Miller knows. This looks like every dude in the weight room at Solon because everybody cut the sides off their shirts and run the head hole towel over their body when they were working out for football.
Why? I don't understand. Well, I do understand.
If I can find
the Twizzlers.
Know exactly what they're doing.
In the midriff there, looks like he's got a pack of Twizzlers wrapped around his abs.
It's incredible, isn't it, when you think about it, how it's gone from something that's amazing. As I said, that Marvel universe was pretty amazing when it comes to film law, and they broke all the rules when it came to film. And then now we've got this rubbish. So
this was the way he looked last year.
What a load
now,
of
granted,
rubbish.
In all fairness, because I like to play the fair card here, that is the story was the shield was stolen and they were going around the country trying to find it, and they kept encountering all these people who had been inspired by Captain America. So they were doing representations for different groups of people using Captain America as inspiration. So the story itself was steeped in merit, but it was
garbage.
Obvious what they were doing with it. I don't think they'll ever change Captain America. I think the outrage in, like, if for some reason Steve came out and had a boyfriend, that would be too much. I think that
that's what they want, though.
A problem. So they keep pushing the line forward, or stepping around it, and they don't cross it. It's like they made one of the Robins bi or gay, and that
they're gonna
Drake.
Is that the? Oh, go ahead, John.
I mean that's the whole idea, though, right? You make Tim Drake
won't do
gay.
it.
Well, what does that mean? Batman is, right? Like that's like they're buying into that.
Right.
They're buying into that meme. Of that with Batman and Robin and stuff like that. So I mean, they'll get there. Just wait. This is what they do.
Yeah.
You'll see a gay Captain America. So you'll see a gay Batman. Superman's gay right now, right?
They got 2 Batmans now.
So what happened to Lois Lane then?
Future State one, right?
If Superman's gay, what happened to Lois Lane?
He's not gay. The son is.
Oh,
He's
the
Superman
son
now.
is gay.
The current Superman comic has nothing to do with Cal. It's all whatever. His son's John. John is his. So it's about John, and basically they had this really great story content where it was called the Super Sons a couple years ago, and it was a young Damian Wayne as Robin meeting John Kent, who was, and as young kids, adolescents, they were teaming up and fighting crime and doing what they do, and it was a great storytelling. And then they disappeared John into
Legion of Superheroes.
Thank you very much, John. The Legion of Superheroes. And he got trapped on a planet somewhere and spent like years in this, excuse my French, HE double hockey sticks. And then he comes back as an adult. So they completely wasted the idea of having a young John Kent in the universe for more than, I mean, what was it, 2 years? John, do you think he was flying around?
Super Sons. Yeah, I think Super Sons was like Rebirth, right? And
Rebirth was pretty good.
Bendis came in and just totally butchered Superman. So
this is the opportunity for Warner Brothers to make a Superman movie and do it right. I mean, I still
called Man of Steel.
That was terrible.
I love Man of Steel.
Well, I don't love the bit where he lets his father die, where he can move at the speed of light. He lets his father die.
I should preface this with, I never read a DC comic on the regular before I got into Rebirth when I started working at someone else's store, and they were readily available to me because I was a Marvel head. So when I watched Man of Steel, I had nothing to base my loves or likes or hates on. I just accepted what I saw at face value. And so, yeah, that's awesome. Look at Henry Cavill being all manly. I like that. And Lois is hot,
Well, I definitely agree with Ian. He should not have let his father die. That was utterly ridiculous.
And it's also the most interesting thing about that film I found, which they dropped the ball on, was young Clark Kent. I thought it was interesting that he was trying to keep his powers in check, and his mother had to come to the school and spread it. And they did that, and they just left it. They should have had more of that in the film, more so than the stupid bits that they had in the film. That's for sure. And also, no disrespect to Amy Adams, but Amy Adams is not Lois Lane. Lois Lane's not red hair, and I always imagined, no disrespect, I always imagined Lois Lane to be better looking than Amy Adams. Personally,
you've never fallen under the spell of the ginger. That's
Zack Snyder's
totally understandable.
Sorry,
that's Lois Lane then.
I personally think Margaret Kidder was obviously the best Lois Lane, personally.
Yeah,
but I and also, actually, do you know what? Full stop. She's the best Lois Lane. The one in the TV show, she needs a good burger or two, doesn't she? Let's face it. The woman is so
new one.
It's ridiculous.
You mean the Clark and Lois show?
Yeah, the new one, the TV show.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't know. I prefer the animated series Lois Lane.
Yeah, I do too.
Which one? There's been loads.
Justice League
from Superman, the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Superman the animated series, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited.
I just think, look, if I was in charge of making a Superman movie, I would recast Superman and recast Lois Lane and take it from there, really. That's what I would do. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I got to bail. I've got a very busy day today, but I wanted to come by.
I do too.
I know. I've got something coming up in a few minutes. But Father, thank you so much.
Good to see you. We'll start up the Saturday stream again. And like I said at the beginning, I'm gonna have to bail in about 8 minutes because I gotta be in the confessional at the top of the hour.
Oh. Okay. Well, I might have been able
to see you later, Teresa.
Never mind.
Good to see you.
See ya.
See you too. And everyone subscribe, like, share, etc., and have a blessed Holy Saturday and Easter.
Happy Easter.
Okay,
Happy Easter.
And then we're 4. Here we go.
The lady's gone. That's all.
So I had the Good Friday liturgy last night.
Wow.
The pastor of the church I'm staying at has the Easter vigil tonight. So I have 2 masses tomorrow. Yeah, so it's going to be a busy day.
This one's the long one, right? The Saturday.
Well, it depends. I
always go to the Sunday.
Well, I don't blame you. I mean, this one can be a long one. It depends on how many readings they do.
Yeah, you have baptism and confession too, or confirmation, right?
If there's any catechumens coming in. Yeah. So I mean, that really depends. That can lengthen or shorten the vigil.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a great church moment 2 weeks ago when it was silent as the grave in between parts, and my wife just drops the hymnal like a lead brick. Boom in the middle of the pew, just out of her hands. It was. I had to keep from laughing.
And Justin, I saw you're losing your pastor. He's being moved.
Which one?
Father Apple.
Oh, Father Apple. I haven't actually. We've been going to Sacred Heart, the older cathedral, over on 10th.
Okay.
I know we belong to Holy Family, but my wife, God bless her, says I need a younger pastor, and it was Father Harness that we had.
Father Apple's our age.
Yeah, I know, but we weren't seeing him. We started going to Sacred Heart about the time he probably came there. So and the pastor there is wonderful. It's nice.
My church is called Sacred Heart. How?
There's probably a few of them.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
Probably a lot of popes and Johns and Pauls.
Yeah. Oh, we got to keep it alive, though. I just, from where I sit, it just seems like this whole thing about believing in God is disappearing from our people that are younger than us. That's what it seems to me. I don't know about where you guys live, but
if it gives you any hope, the one thing I have realized over years now is that the problem is the ones who are the problems are the ones with the loudest voices. Most of us in the church are, by and large, a conservative bunch, not politically as much, but in our lives. It's none of your business what I do all day long. I just want to be, so most of us, I would say, are still along that lines. And it's just the loud ones, the kids who keep coming up and making noise,
So I gotta say hi to Apollo's minion. Bosco's not here yet. Bosco is currently being house sat by my vet, and I'm grateful to them because they took her to their home so she wouldn't be in a kennel for 3 months. So I'm trying to get everything organized in the new living space before I bring the cat home.
Hold on, so guys, what time is it where you are, John?
I'm East Coast, so it's 11:40 a.m. here.
Morning. Central time for Justin and I.
And what time are you, Justin?
I'm an hour behind John. 10:40.
All right.
10:40 here.
4 o'clock here.
Right.
It's a beautiful day, actually. It's really sunny, and that's weird for London. It's not raining. It's just weird.
This is the first time we've streamed in a while, so I wanted to say congratulations to my daughter, who is a Division II junior college national champion.
Wow! Congratulations!
So,
Congrats!
I don't have a picture to throw up, but that's big congrats to Kirk Wood on that one. Whoever's watching.
Yes. Well, we're gonna have to start wrapping it up.
Okay.
Like I said, I gotta go to the sin bin.
Okay.
Some hockey reference right there. I like it.
I love hearing these things. I hear them for the first time.
I gotta
say, wait. This is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm upstairs talking to my daughter. I'm a G.I. Joe fan, for those who haven't heard me talk before.
I can't tell.
And she asked, would you like to meet the guy who played Snake Eyes? And I said, yeah, Ray Park also played Darth Maul. I love him. Awesome. And then she's 20 years old. She goes, what about the voice talent actor?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I just fell out laughing on the floor. And it took her like 5 minutes to realize what she had said. The man's been established since 1982. He hasn't said a word. He hasn't even grunt in the cartoon.
Yeah, he hasn't grunt. No.
For me, that was the funniest thing ever. So I died laughing.
Well, I thought she was going to say Henry, the new guy, Golding.
No, she asked about them, but I don't. As I said, and I don't know if she got the joke. I said, I don't care about them crazy rich Asians. And she looked at me and says, he was in a movie called Crazy Rich Asians. It's okay.
Oh, Tina's here. Good to see you.
Well, bye.
Just when we're leaving.
No, I was just going to say, does anybody have anything to plug? I know I'm going to try to do a review of Doctor Who tomorrow, maybe.
Oh, God, no, I'm not watching that.
I'm not watching it.
Good luck, Father, for your sins.
It's supposed to be a day of joy. I don't feel like it being depressed by watching.
Have they changed the Doctor again?
Yeah, not yet.
Because I have a customer. I have one customer who buys the comic, and I saw that was a middle-aged or 50-year-old African-American woman on the cover, and I was like, that's
one of the other
alternate universe type of thing.
No, that's some new doctor they introduced.
Sorry, fugitive doctor.
It's the council estate doctor. That's what I call her, because she just looks like a neighbor from where I live. Because I live. But
she's not the new doctor for the series.
No.
Not yet.
God.
Just curious.
Yeah. That's the way it goes. No. Anyways, John, good to see you back, Father.
Yeah, thank you. John, anything to plug for Bounding?
Yeah, I mean, just boundingcomics.com. We're putting up stuff pretty much every day. I don't know if we're going to have anything today or tomorrow. We'll see. I don't usually try. I try not to work on the weekends. But, and then we got the new videos up pretty much every weekday. So,
well, we'll have to do a Father Stew review.
Yeah, we've got one up on our website right now. Jacob.
Oh, you already do? Okay.
Well, I didn't review it, but we have one up on our website. Jacob's really good. He's one of our new writers. He's doing great opinion pieces, covering a lot of the crazy, disgusting, heinous stuff at Disney. And then he also does a bunch of movie reviews too, and he's got really good insight. If you can follow him on Society Reviews too. He's got his own website and everything, but we're glad to have him on board our team.
Great. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining, guys. Good to see you. It's been good. I've missed everybody. I'm going to try to do some streaming. I just don't know what my schedule is going to be like yet.
It's all right.
Let us know.
I'm
but
around.
For everybody watching, thank you for joining us. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the ring bell, and we'll talk to you soon. Till then, have a good Easter, everybody.